Today we're going to review how to access data from the beginning of year and middle of year tests that Detroit students took with Academic Approach this year. We'll look at a few reports that compare student scores across both test events and provide opportunities for data analysis in various ways. To access student data, you'll log into your Academic Approach account by going to the URL myacademicapproach.com, also displayed on the screen. Your username is your full school email address. I'm going to log into our demo account. If you've never logged in before, your password will be password1 with a capital P. If you have logged in before, please use the unique password that you set for yourself. Once you've entered your login information, go ahead and click Log In. You'll be taken to your account dashboard. To view student data, select the Reports tab in the top right corner of your page. Once here, you'll see there are 11 unique reports that are available to you. The reports at the top of the page provide a larger overview of student data. The middle of the page are more skills-based reports. And the reports at the bottom are student-facing reports that include student-friendly language and features that you may want to share with the students in your classroom. In this demo, we're going to focus on reports that allow you to select multiple test events so you can compare student performance and growth from the first test they took with us to the most recent test they took with Academic Approach. So the first report we're going to look at is the whole class score report in the overall report section. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that report. You'll see there are a few filters where you can enter the information you're looking for. Institution is the school that you teach at. School year will be 2019-20. Your program name will say active students and then the name of the school you work at. For this demo, I'm selecting the example program. Test type will be SAT. And then for the test name, you will select the two tests that you want to compare data from. So in this case, I'm looking at the SAT AAH and SAT AAC test events. So these are events that juniors participated in. And you can see the month and the date that students tested on. So I'm going to select both test events. And then from here, I can select the subject. Composite is the overall score. Or I can look at specifically how students did in the reading and writing section or in the math section. I'm going to look at the composite scores. You can also select a group. A group is a class period if you want to look at how a specific cohort of students did. And then you can have the option to select order by recent improvement or overall improvement so that you can see total growth to date. I'm going to select overall improvement and then select update. I'm going to scroll down so that I can see the names of my students, how they did in the first test event, which is this first column here, and then how they did in the second one. And then this column for improvement displays student growth. We'll tell you if student scores increased or decreased in between test events. This row at the very top of the table will also tell you the overall average for the group of students you selected. So 830 is the average composite score for the first test event. 1214 is the average composite for the second test event. And then you'll see an average of points increased across this group of students. You can also download a spreadsheet with all student scores. by updating the report and then selecting this download option in the top right corner that's right next to the print option. Downloads of this report will also include a student's school ID if you'd like to include that in your data analysis. So now I'm going to go back to the reports page and I'm going to demonstrate how to access a more skills-based report that allows you to select multiple test events. So I'm going to scroll down to the middle of the page and look at the standard analysis report, which will give you class accuracy by standard. You should see all of the same filters when you select this report. If you would like to edit the test names, say for example, you teach 9th and 10th grade students and you want to look at data across those test events, you can just unselect that test event and then find the one you're looking for. In this case, I only have events from juniors that tested. So I'm going to keep those test events selected. I can select a specific subject. So I'm going to look at how students did in the reading section specifically. And then I select a standard system. So you'll see there's the option to select the Common Core standards, ACT standards, or SAT domains and dimensions. I'm going to select SAT domains and dimensions because I want to see how students did on specifically the SAT skills that they were being assessed on. The group, again, is the same as the class period. So you can select multiple groups if you want to look at how a smaller subset of the junior class for this example did. And then you can also select show improvement as well. So you can see skill growth. So I'm going to click update. And then I'm going to scroll down and I'll see that these standards are nested so that you can see % accuracy at each level. And since I selected the show improvement option, there's also a column here that shows me by what percentage students increased performance on specific standards. You can click on the standard system and it will show you individual student performance across both test events that you selected, as well as an increase or decrease in performance. And again, this is subject specific, so if you want to see how students did on the writing and language portion, you would select a different subject. And then if you wanted to see how students did on math, that would be a different subject you would select, and then you just update the report to see data from there. This report is also downloadable as a CSV, or you can print it as a PDF if you'd like, just by selecting these options on the right side of this report page. The last report I'm going to go over is the student scores report. This report is at the bottom of the page, and it will display scores for one student at a time and include scores and individual recommendations for each student. So I'm going to select the student scores report. Again, you should see all of the same filters that you selected for your previous report. Save with this report. If you would like to select different test events, you'll just select this test drop-down option. And you also have the option to select a different group or class period here. I'm going to go ahead and click update. And again, this will show student scores for both test events, the beginning of year test and the middle of year test that they took with us as well. So if you want to see individual student scores, you can find that student's name in this student dropdown. You can also search for the name here. And this is what the report will look like when you print it out and give it to students. So you'll see it breaks down student scores for each test event. And then also shows information in a different way, breaking down how students did by passage content, text type, or question type for the reading examples. And then also gives some suggestions for writing and language and math. If you would like to print an entire class period's group of student scores, you can do that by selecting this print option. Then you'll see there are a few different selection choices here. You can print just the student that you selected on the previous page, or you can print all students, which will print out PDFs for each student in the class period or grade level that you selected. Then you'll select print. Depending on how many students are in your class or grade level, this report could take several minutes to load because each report is multiple pages. When the report is available to you, you'll find it in the notification section of your dashboard. Again, this could take several minutes, up to 30 minutes to an hour to load this report, just depending on how many students you wish to generate the report for. If it has been a significant amount of time and you have not seen the report appear in your notifications center, please reach out to the support contact team by selecting this option here. Support contact will send an email to our support team's inbox, and we can look into the report and make sure that it is in the queue and will be available to you. I'm going to go ahead and go back to my home screen. You'll see that the support contact link and notifications option is also available to you on your home dashboard. So again, if you're waiting on any reports, when they're ready, they'll show up in this notification center. And if you do have any questions about the reports demonstrated in this video, or if you're exploring additional reports on your own and have follow-up questions about student data or standards, please reach out to our support contact team by selecting this option here. So that's it for my demo, where I walked through 3 reports that specifically compared student performance from the beginning of your test to the middle of your test. There are several more reports that are available for you, so I encourage you to spend some time in the reports hub, navigating these different reports and figuring out what is most helpful to you and your team when you're doing data analysis. All right, thank you.